to The Brew is Back, uncut and uncensored. I am your host, Erica Jones, and welcome to episode 6. We made it, y'all. We made it. So, this episode, we are going to be talking about victim blaming. Now, what is victim blaming for those who may not know? Is when you blame the victim of abuse. The person has been sexually abused or has been physically abused, and victim blaming is saying, why did she stay so long? She must have been in it for the money. They say any number of things, and it can be very triggering. And nothing was more triggering than the Diddy trial that just wrapped, where he was on trial for racketeering and sex trafficking. And so while that was happening, and you had the different women on trial, particularly singer Cassie, you had people who were blaming her. They were blaming this young girl for what happened to her. Why didn't she should have known better. Well, I am sharing a conversation today that I had with a longtime friend of mine who I felt like was victim shaming Cassie, and it just really rubbed me the wrong way. And let me tell you, I actually just defriend a lot of people when I see them doing things like that. I will defriend you in a second, just because I have to protect my space. We have to protect our space, and I'm not just going to have like a bunch of victim shaming men or women on my feed. I'm just not having it. But because this person is such a good friend of mine, I've known him for over 25 years, I couldn't just delete him from my life. I said, let me just talk to him. Let me see if he'll have a conversation, if we could even have a conversation, for the brew. And see if I could change his mind on how he's thinking. Basically, I'm trying to get through to my brother, and just kind of like present him with some things to think about, really, before just putting, comments out there, post out there that can be harmful to women, and Black women in particular. So, y'all, here is my conversation with my friend Jaybe Holiday, and yeah, you guys can see how this conversation went. So listen, JB, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me on The Brew is Back. Now, you are an OG. I've been talking to you for over, what, like 20-something years?
Yeah,
Maybe more. Yeah.
yeah, I
So,
got gray hair now, so yeah,
exactly. I'm dyeing mine. So, listen.
I had to decide on whether or not I was going to show it today. I was like,
Ah,
but
show it. Show it. And we just going to jump right into it. You ready to just jump right in?
let me. I may have to stretch or something. I don't know what you're about to hit me with, man. All right, go
Listen,
ahead.
recently, not long ago, you did a post on Facebook where you said, and listen, because I want to have a conversation about the post, okay? The controversial post, controversial. Yeah, why is that not sounding right? The controversial post that you did, and that kind of got me a little bit triggered, a little triggered.
So it triggered a bunch of y'all. Apparently, I didn't expect it. I had no idea. I was just making a general thing because I wasn't talking about that girl, but maybe I was talking about y'all.
Nah, but you was talking about the girl though. You did,
I
because
wasn't
look,
about that girl. I was talking about
you
real girls.
okay, but you said, but you said I'm not keeping up with the puff booty snatcher case. But material girls will stick around for material things no matter what you do. So, when
And
you
I meant it.
okay, so when
And
you
they
said that,
will.
okay. So when you said that, I said it sounds like victim blaming to me.
Now,
And with,
why does it sound like victim blaming? That's my thing. Is like I need to understand that part first.
okay,
'Cause, like everybody came at me like, "Oh, you're victim shaming or victim blaming." How?
How? Because okay, you said material girls will stick around for material things. So you reduced her, and you said I'm not even following it. So your first reaction was to reduce her experience down to, you reduced her to a material girl sticking around for material things without even hearing her experience, hearing what was going on right off the bat. Now, let me ask you that. Why would you do that? Is it because of the way she looks? Because I even wonder, do women get that label just by virtue of being beautiful? She's a beautiful
I
girl.
wasn't talking about that girl. About material girls. Now that girl in that case brought the thought to my mind.
Why?
Okay? Because I've dealt with material girls in various ways, and they stick around for material things no matter what the guy does. So that situation with Cassie, without me even knowing what was going on with her, it was just a thought that went through my head, and then my fingers got to walking, and next thing I know, everybody's mad at me.
You're saying you dealt with material girls and they do stick around for material things. So have you dangled material things in front of a material girl?
What I will say is this: is that she said she liked what was dangled in front of her.
Who? Your person or Cassie?
Well, my person too, and Cassie.
But see,
Cassie said she liked it. She liked the dangling of the diddler's friends dangling their things and pissing in her mouth, and I don't know what else. But what I'm hearing, because I still not following it, I ain't got time to. But the bottom line is this: is if she did it more than once, and if she's running around saying she enjoyed it, come on, man. How's she a victim?
you saying, JB? Okay, so you're going by her saying that you heard that she said she liked it. That because you're not following it, you said, but you hear
I'm
things.
not following it.
You might
I'm not,
hear what you want to hear. Did you like you hear the things you want to hear? You heard her say she liked it. You heard that?
I'll say specifically, who is it? Eddie Griffin or somebody, some comedian said, something about her saying she liked it.
The
I,
young lady is on trial too by public opinion, because I think she's a certified freak her goddamn self. I was thinking that Puffy was selling them piss in this bitch's mouth. No, she said piss in my mouth. I know R. Kelly's in jail, crying like a motherfucker.
After that post, I was tempted to try to go down the rabbit hole and really see what was going on, but like I didn't care enough.
Okay, so this is the thing. Okay, JB, I'm trying to get into some real talk here on this because if you don't care enough to listen, I mean to actually go down that rabbit hole, which is fine. The reason that people are triggered is because this is serious for a lot of people. There are people who have been women who have been abused, men who have been abused, people who have been abused. So when you talk about abuse, Eddie Griffin to be your go-to person is not for Eddie Griffin is not the one that's going to give you some real talk about what abuse is. And when you jump on and you just kind of provoke or just the little things you heard. I heard she liked it. We talking about, did you saw the videotape of her getting beat down in that hotel room, right?
Oh yeah, but
Okay.
I've seen a bunch of women get beat down and stick around for dudes who got money.
I know. Okay, but this is the thing, though. Oh, JB. Oh, I just want to just see.
You want
Oh,
to punch me, don't
I
you?
do. And the thing is, you've been my friend for so many years, and I just want to do. I just want to wrap my hands around your neck. I do right now because you're blaming. That's when we say you're blaming the victim. You're saying I've seen, because you're saying that she's there just because of the material things, but no, there are cycles of abuse. There is abuse when a woman is sticking in a relationship. If she's sticking around for what you call material things, it's because she can't get out. is because maybe she doesn't have the support. Maybe he's got so mentally entangled, so mentally he's got her mind. He's controlling her freaking mind. It
Oh
is
yeah.
not, it is
Later
not.
on, I found out about like all the. I mean, whew, there's a lot of strong arm stuff that was going on there. You know what I mean? I mean, a lot of real heavy, like real gangster,
Yeah.
stuff like blowing up people's cars and all of that.
So
But
listen. If he is gonna blow up allegedly, Kid Cootie's car, and Kid Cudi didn't go around talking about that. That's intimidation. He has look. People suspect that he may have killed Biggie and Tupac. You know what I'm saying? So and it's possible that he did. That is quite possible. So when people are dying and then you're this young girl with this person, what makes you think that you're going to get away? What makes it even think that she's just going to walk out that door like deuces, you hit me, you did this, I'm out. When that person has decided they want you. Like, so there is control, there's manipulation, there are so many reasons that she is in that is not just for a check. It is not. And even if she was in it for a check, which is so much bigger than that, nobody deserves a beat down like that.
oh
And this is my point.
no, nobody deserves that.
And see, when you come online, you don't say anything about him and what he is doing to her. Your only comment is she's a material girl sticking around for material things. That's so general. It's so and let me tell you this, JB, and this is my bigger point with that, behind all the details of this, is just the context of what it means to be a Black woman. Not even just in America, in the world. As Malcolm X said, we are the most disrespected, not just in this country, but in the world.
The most disrespected person in America is the Black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the Black woman. The most neglected person in America is the Black woman.
And when you go to enslavement, from the time that we got over here, the Black woman has been abused. She has been raped. She has been beaten. She has been raped and beaten in front of her men. The way that an abuser, that an oppressor, that they're going to get to a man is to abuse his woman in front of him. So the Black woman has been raped in front of her man. What does that do to the man? What does that do to the man that can't even protect his Black woman?
Mm-hmm.
So she gets further reduced. She gets reduced in the eyes of her man. She becomes the victim. She becomes the one that people abuse. And so what I'm saying is, when we're generationally abused in front of you guys, when you guys can't help, when you couldn't help, and some died, I'm sure, trying to protect us. I'm not saying everybody, but it was a effed up situation for the Black man, and it did something to both of us. What I'm asking, and what I would ask the Black man, such as yourself, and the Black woman too, is give that Black woman a pause. Give it pause. Give it the thought, the respect. Too, if you don't know the details, then don't talk about it, because what the Black woman does not need is to the lack of grace, the lack of finding out what is it to be abused as a Black woman, because we got a lot of it. Like, what does it mean to be caught up in a cycle of abuse and control by a Black man, white man, doesn't matter, but what is that abuse? Because it's so deep for us. It is so deep. And it's not a joke. It's not, it shouldn't be taken lightly. It's your mom. You know what I mean? It's me. It's all of us. And we can get caught up in anything. We're susceptible to abuse. So I'm saying we need protection. We need that layer of protection.
We will kill you for our woman. We believe that if the white man will do whatever is necessary to see that his woman gets respect and protection, then you and I will never be recognized as men until we stand up like men and place the same penalty over the head of anyone who puts his filthy hands out to put in the direction of our women.
And I know you. I've been knowing you for years, and that's why I was so surprised when I saw such a cavalier, off the top comment without the deeper level of it, like introspection and questioning. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead. I want to hear what you were gonna say.
I mean, the point. I mean, bottom line. Heard about the case, saw her get beat up. The thought came to my mind, well, shit, I know other women like that. I've seen them stick around. I didn't know the details of that situation, but the point of my post was that there needs to be a change in our culture. To your point, there has to be a total change in our culture to where things like that do not ever happen again.
Yes, the culture needs to change. But with the culture changing, do you understand that when you put your voice out there though, and if you put a comment even or a post out there that doesn't reflect a certain level of thinking or a little bit more depth though, that you become a part of the culture that is not good. You become a part of the victim blaming culture. You reduce, like, all this that you just said was not in that initial post. And then I even, and JB, I also saw this question which you kept asking it over and over. So I'm going to bring this question up because I want you to tell me. Right, you said I'm going to be repetitive in asking this to everyone who made a comment. My question is, what made her say yes to the first freak off?
Exactly.
The answer to that sets the stage for the ultimate truth in this.
Exactly.
What is the ultimate truth?
You're free.
Okay, I want to answer that question. There are many people in relationships, many people who experiment. They might experiment with threesomes. They might have an orgy. Whatever, they might say yes because as human beings, people explore their sexuality. So, say first time, second time, just say, I'm going to even say she was down with it. Whenever she's no longer down with it, whenever it turns distasteful, and that happens in relationships with people who swing and stuff. It's all fun and games in the beginning, and at some point, it ain't fun no more. It's not fun. Nobody should be trapped into something that they said yes to. Even if you say yes to something, if you say yes to drugs 20 times, and you with your boys, your friend, you got a group of people, is yes. That 21st time that you say, you know what, I'm done with this, you should be able to walk away with no shame and nobody coming after you because that's your choice. It no longer serves you. So when you say what made her say yes in the first place, maybe she just wanted to try it out. Maybe she did, but at some point she didn't. Do you understand that?
Totally understand that. And it also goes back to my statement about the culture.
Yeah.
Because that first yes was also about being a part of the culture that he was promoting, that she chose to be a part of. If she was never attracted to that or a person like that, then that knocks out the whole possibility of her being in a situation like that. She ain't even the only one. Like, there's a bunch of women out here who, because the culture is the way that it is, they weren't supported to become something else. And the culture creates the possibilities for this. Look at our culture now. Look at people like Sexy Red being like major influencers right now. Okay? Super major influencers. Because it was not a secret that was the culture around him, the freak off culture. Okay? Freaking off in hip hop is just a thing. That is programming our women. When it comes down to it, and I'm tying it into what you said, I've got a concept called the Bank of the Black Womb. Okay? This whole economic system was created from the black womb, from the bank of the black womb. And there were nothing but deposits and withdrawals and withdrawals and withdrawals, and the deposits were not asked for. This is a continuation of that culture of extracting, extracting, and extracting. Diddy was extracting from her whatever sense of power that he needed to power himself. America and Wall Street even has been extracting babies from black wombs. And we have not turned our back on the capitalism that was built from that activity. We are still abusing black wombs by even participating in this capitalist society and in these cultures that uphold it. That's my point. And if I hadn't have made that comment, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now, and I wouldn't be able to make that point that I was trying to make in those in the comments there.
And I hear what you're talking about with your bigger question on culture, but just your first comment, your first post though, it was in the world of victim blaming, and I just want you to be conscious of that, because when we ask why did the 19-year-old girl say yes, it's asking that over how did this monster come into power that he would do this to this young girl. What I'm saying is I'm wishing, and listen, that's just me. You're going to be you and I'm going to be me at the end of the day. And I guess I would love for everybody to think like me. Not everybody, you know what I'm saying? But I guess in the ideal world, you would say, and I don't think that's going to happen. In an ideal world, you would say, listen, Erica, I get it. I get that it came across victim blaming. And I could see that maybe if I'm going to ask a question, I could center it on the more powerful person in the relationship, the man who was doing the abuse. So in an ideal world, you would be centering your post on the abuser as opposed to the victim.
We gotta be taught. We gotta be taught that. You see what I'm saying?
But you know what? But this is the thing too, and that's what the conversation is right now. Though is I'm getting that you had a greater point about culture, black culture, and the culture. I get that, and then I had a point about victim blaming. And again, we're not going to get taught in school the cycles of abuse and what black women have gone
They
through
ain't gonna get
generations.
taught in their school.
Not in their
Yeah, if
schools,
we
and we
create
don't have
our
schools.
schools and our culture, we
Yeah.
create our music to reflect that. Now, mind you, and you're gonna hear it from my mouth right now. I can see how anyone in the aftermath of all of this, and I'm glad it happened. I ain't backing down from it. I'm glad it happened the way that it did.
Your
Because,
your post
yeah, hell yeah.
your post.
Hell yeah. I'm glad it happened the way that it did. Because it blindsided me. And we're having this conversation, and I'm having to have this conversations with other people besides you. So there's something I'm learning from it. But I'm not ever going to censor anything that I think or say, because I'm going to say whatever the hell I want to say. And then if you want to have a conversation after, we're going to go deep on it, and we both going to learn something. You see what I'm saying? Now, in the future, will I be conscientious of or maybe even a little more conscientious of the framing of things when it involves a victim who is a young black or a woman of color? Yes. Yes. Did I make that post to trigger anyone? Nah, I just had a thought and just put it down. And I didn't even really think twice about it. I didn't even think that I was going to really get any nothing. I didn't care. It was just something that I was like, you know what? This thought came to my head, this song's in my head, and I see a certain relevance here, and I want to build upon this concept of material girls, material world, this case, Diddy, and like what created, like what made Diddy become who he is. You see what I'm saying? What made that? Really? What made that? Why is it possible that that type of person can be made and supported to that level, to where a Clive Davis empowers someone of such a low, and then on the heels of a Clive Davis, because he's not the only one to blame here. Us as a people, listening to the messages, even like co-signing that Biggie was the greatest rapper ever. He ain't. Listen to the messages. How is he the greatest rapper ever? How? For our culture. How is Bad Boy? Look at the name. Bad Boy. Death Row. There's something bigger here that creates the beasts that have been chosen for us to worship, to where now, like Chuck D wouldn't get caught up in no shit like this. Chuck D should be as powerful as Diddy. Why is he not?
Because they're not empowering. They want to empower the devils.
The devil only empowers the demons. And the righteous people have to understand that and turn their backs on the culture that empowers the degradation of those that bring more of us into this world. Because it is that epigenetic trauma that is passed on to us and will be propagated in the future. Look at everything that is set up and the way that it's set up right now. And look at all the erasure that is going on of anything that is positive that relates to the culture of people of color. In the name of what? Capitalism and materialism. That post may have seemed like I was blaming the victim, but I'm blaming all the victims. I'm blaming all of us. All of us are victims. Every single one of us, including me. I had Puffy roll up on me saying, "What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?" He did that a bunch of times at Life in the VIP. I didn't know what was up until now. I had no idea. I was there to.
He was trying to see if you could be pulled into
I'm
the
saying,
world.
you know what I'm saying? Like, there's some things I just can't hide. I'm sorry. And I guess he was crotch watching or some shit. But this dude rolls up into me in VIP and is like, "What's up? Yeah, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up shit? I'm supposed to be meeting Janet Jackson and freaking Q-Tip there. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's
That was
going
your
on." And nobody else who got caught up and getting their booty busted knew what was going on. All of us are victims. And I blame all of us. I'm a victim, blame all of us until we wake the fuck up out of this shit and decide that we're not going to be victims no more. Because we're sitting here taking it up the ass from everybody. Pissing in our mouth. Shit.
Okay, listen. And the only way we're going to get out of it is to turn our back on this bullshit and
Exactly.
create the culture and the vision that we really want to
That we
see.
need.
That we need to see for our prosperity, for the future, for future generations. We got to turn our backs on this shit. Oh, it's gonna be, listen.
It's going to be hard. But we
Yeah.
gotta do it. Or we're gonna have Mo Diddy's, we're gonna have Mo Cassie's over and over and over and over and over and over and over. We're gonna have more extraction of our talent, of our livelihoods, of everything that we have.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at. So I love you. I love Black woman. I love all of you victims out there, including me.
Listen, on that note, our time time well spent. Listen, JB, thank you for coming
Yeah,
on. You know what I love is that these conversations, I have in my mind where I would like them to go, or I come in with my and then it's always good to be enlightened, or to have to rethink, to have to think, and hear that side. So I'm glad we had this conversation, and I wanted to have, it's funny, I want to give you a deeper understanding, you know what I'm
yeah, but
saying,
I
and
needed that.
I'm
I need
yeah,
that as well as you.
yeah,
We
and
as
I'm
a people have to learn how to actually have conversations instead of screaming at each other and shit and calling each other names, and you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't got to turn into that. No matter how offended you are, it's a word. It's words. If I ain't killed your mama, if I ain't shot your daddy, if I ain't raped your baby, me. You know what I'm saying? And pipe it down and let's have a exchange, because I
yes,
know I can learn something from every person that has a problem with that with me if we actually have the conversations. That's where we're at, and we have to make conversations like this more important than this bullshit that we're being fed in our algorithms.
amen. All right, all right.